Thanks for joining us today. My name is Sarah Ziegler. I'm the Communications Coordinator for the Compassionate Friends, and I'm going to show you today how to fill out the online year-end report. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see the leadership website and how we need to do that. Okay, so here we have the leadership website, and this is the homepage for the website. And right under our Welcome Chapter Leadership, we have information about the year-end report. And if you click on the button down here for the online YER, it'll bring up the report to fill out. So if we scroll down, the first portion is the chapter information. And the information with a red asterisk is information that is required to complete. So you'll just go ahead and put in your chapter number, your chapter name, the mailing address for the chapter, and then you'll want to put in the contact phone number for the chapter that will be listed on the website. Here you'll indicate whether this chapter phone number is a chapter phone line or if this is connected with a specific person. If you, this is somebody from your chapter leadership, if you can include their name, that way we'll include that on the website as well. So if somebody does call, that they have a name connected with that phone number. Also, if there is additional chapter phone number we should list, you can list that here as well. And then the chapter email address, you can insert that here, and this will be listed on the website, or it asks if you would like to have this listed on the website, and you can say yes or no for that. If you have a chapter website, you can list that link here. And a Facebook page. If it's a public page or a public group, we could list that. You can indicate whether you want that listed, or if it's a closed group, we can list that link. If it's a secret group, we will not list those links on the national website. Once you get this completed, just click Next, and it'll take you to the next page. Oops, we need to make sure we have the whole website in here to list. Okay, we will indicate the chapter leader here, their phone number, and here is a place to indicate whether this is a home phone or a cell phone number. And if you'd like, you can also include a secondary phone. If the chapter mailing address is the same as the chapter leader address, you can just check this box and you won't need to complete the address. Otherwise, you can put in there what your home address is. This would be the email to list, and this email address gets listed on our leadership website for other leaders to connect with you. And then we can go ahead and list a co-leader, and we have a due we do have a place to list a second co-leader as well. Up here, you would want to indicate whether your chapter has a newsletter or not. If you indicate yes, you'll have a place in here to input the editor's name, contact information, and then also let us know how often the e-newsletter or newsletter gets emailed, mailed, and then indicate the number for each that is mailed and emailed. If the national office is on your mailing list, you would just click yes. If you select no, you'll have the opportunity to upload a file of your e-newsletter for us. And this next portion is giving us the information about your meeting, your chapter meeting. So you would let us know the day that you meet each month and the time. We will check this information with what we have listed on the website to make sure that that is accurate. And this field here is if there's any additional notes that you want us to include on the website regarding your meeting location. For example, if there's a special place people should park, or there's a particular building that they need to go to, or if it's a hard to find location, maybe a couple more indicators of where the location is. And then if you can indicate your average meeting attendance and your largest meeting attendance. If you have a separate meeting place, there's a spot for you to include that information as well. The next portion is giving us information about the subgroups, special services of your chapter. If your chapter offers a separate sibling meeting, you can give us the information about that and indicate the age group and when they meet. And these are all things that we can include on the chapter locator to give those who are looking up information about your chapter a little bit more information on what you do offer. And this portion, we have you list the steering committee and those serving on your chapter leadership. So first, we have you list the treasurer of the chapter. With a primary contact number and indicating what that primary contact number is. A place for a secondary phone is also available to enter in, and an email address. After listing the treasurer, there's space to list up to, I believe, 8 additional steering committee members, and then a field to list any members above that. And you can give their contact information, the position that they serve on your steering committee, and you can add additional members by checking this box, and it continues to give you space to add another member. We also ask how often the steering committee meets, or if the steering committee meets and how often, and if they're not meeting, why you're currently not meeting. The next section is to give a little bit more information about the chapter programs your chapter offers. We ask first if your chapter does have a candle lighting on the second Sunday in December. If you indicate yes, that you'll give some information about your attendance and details. If no, we just are wondering why your chapter does not hold a candle lighting. I know some of our chapters do hold candle lightings on a different date, and then some chapters don't hold a candle lighting at all. And there's space to list other special programs your chapter offers. If you have things for the holidays, if you have a Mother's Day, Father's Day program, if you have a summer picnic, just give us a little more information about that. We also would like to know you're interested in having a regional chapter leadership training program. Are there members of your chapter that would like to attend a program? Or if your chapter is interested in hosting a program. And we'd like to get a little bit of feedback on your regional coordinator, if you've been in contact with your coordinator, and any other thoughts that you have. The last two fields on this page gives us a little bit more information on how the national office could better serve our chapters, and if there's anything else that you would like to share on that section there. And the next part here is our financial report. It may be helpful if you already have your worksheet filled out, that those numbers should correspond with the different fields here. So it should help you out a little bit as you fill out this section. The first part here, you can select files and upload files from your computer of your bank statements. If you're not able to do that, you can always email those bank statements to tcfyers@compassionatefriends.org. So this first part here, question here is asking how many donors contributed 250 more in a single donation. And you'll also need to include the acknowledgement letters if they're not already sent to the national office. You could include these up here at the top, or you could email those as well. So the report starts off with the adjusted bank balance from your 2016 report, and that would be entered here. You would follow along and fill out your savings, checking, any other accounts that your chapter may have, or any other would be filled in these next lines. And this would give you a total of all chapter accounts. The next section here is the income the chapter has received. Any love gifts, memorials would be under the donation part, except for online donations. We do ask that you separate that out into another section and just let us know what source you're using to collect those donations, whether it be through a company like PayPal or another source. We have space for you to list your fundraising projects, and you'll list the income for the fundraising project here, and you'll list the expenses on this line. And then here on 10 is where you'll list the net income. So you'll take the income and the expenses, and then this will be your net total for your fundraiser. And we have other fields to fill in other income that the chapter may have received. Here you'll list the total of what the income for the chapter. And we have a section to list the income from restricted gifts. The restricted gifts are donations that are made for a specific purpose chosen by the donor. And when the donation is made, that purpose would be given by the donor, and typically whether it's written on a the note or check, if you could attach the documentation showing the restricted gift donations. Here you'll list the purpose of what that donation is, when this fund was started, if there was a balance from the previous year, and then you'll do the income for this, and then the expenses and what the ending balance for that fund is. On line 18 here, you're going to add basically the income for the different restricted funds, giving yourself the total for the 2017 restricted income. On line 19, it's going to be the lines 15, which is your income here, plus what you had here as your restricted income. And this will give you the total of your restricted and unrestricted income that you brought in for the chapter. To determine your annual membership fee, you will take your unrestricted income, which is line 15 up here, and put it in, you'll multiply that by 10%, and that will be the annual membership fee that is due. If that figure is less than 100, the suggested minimum annual membership fee is $100. So you would list the annual membership fee that is being paid on line 21. The next section will be our chapter expenses. And you'll start off with listing the annual membership fee that was paid last year and continue listing other expenses for the chapter. We do have a spot to list things that do not fall into these other categories on lines 38 and 39. And you can list an explanation for what that income or what those expenses were. Line 40 is the total of all the expenses you had. And then down here is adjustments to the bank balance. Sometimes your expenses and income didn't quite make it through the bank by the end of the year. So this is a place to indicate that there might be some changes in the bank balance that is reported on the December 31st bank statement. So the first field here is to list any income that may have been received at the end of December that you weren't able to deposit until 2018. This amount does need to be included in your income, and you would be paying an AMF the 10% AMF this year on that income. And just remember that you will not report it on next year's year-end report. And then there's a place here to list any checks that did not clear by December 31st. You can give the amount and the check number. And again, these checks must be included in the 2017 expenses. Now, to balance out your report, you're going to take line 2, which is your adjusted bank balance from last year, plus line 19, which is your total income for the year, and subtract line 40, which is your total expenses for the year. And this will give you your report total. And to balance that with what you have in the bank, you're going to take line 7, which is your ending balances shown on your bank statements, and add in line 41, which is any income that was not deposited in 2017, and subtract out any outstanding checks. And that'll give you your adjusted bank balance. These two should balance out. If they don't, you can send us an email at tcfyers@compassionatefriends.org or give us a call at 877-969-0010, and we can help you figure out why these may not be balancing. After that, you have a place here to enter in-kind donations. In-kind donations are donations that the chapter receives that are not cash or checks. It's a service or a good. If somebody comes to your worldwide candlelighting and sings, that would be an in-kind donation. That if you did not pay them anything, so the value of their time is what would be listed here. And the only in-kind donations that you need to list on the chapter YER report are those that are valued over $250. Once these are all, once you have this filled out, we'll need a signature from the treasurer, and you can just take the pen in the box and take your mouse and hold down and sign the pad. And you can type in the name here and date it. And again, we'll need the chapter leader's signature as well in the following box. If you're not both able to do this at the same time, it would help if you use the Save and Continue Later button. And when you click on that, you will receive a link that you can email to the treasurer to complete their portion of the YER. Once you've completed the financial report, you'll have the option on how you would like to submit your annual membership payment. You can either include that on the form and submit it online, or you can mail in a check. We also have an option for our chapters who are new to select that there is no AMF due this year. Once you submit your report, you'll receive an email back with all the information that you inputted. And this will serve as a copy as your 2017 chapter year-end report. You also remember that you can save and continue at any time and come back to the information later to complete the report. If you have any materials that you weren't able to upload, you can always email that to tcfyers@compassionatefriends.org. And that goes for any questions that you may have as well. And remember that the reports are due March 1st, 2018, so make sure you give yourself time to get the report completed. Well, thank you for joining us today, and hope this has helped you out.